I can't feel it in my hip when I move it just like this.
I can feel it in my tits when you touch them just like this. I feel it in my bones and I feel it in my balls and I feel it when I walk out the door in my car. The motions in my sensor and my doctor's ever nearer. I feel it in my motions cause my best friend eats her emotions.
A silly man was arrested this morning after he was caught illegally trying to import camel meat. He was so stupid that he had the package stamped saying "Do not open. There is nothing illegal contained in this package." Of course, the customs officers opened it to see what it was all about, and when they saw it was filled up with bushmeat, they knew they had to alert the authorities, and they surely did, and the man was publicly burned like a whore in Afghanistan.
A tricky little patient has caused a doctor and his patient a lot of heartache this week after he alerted police that Dr. Zimmerman would accept blowjobs as legal tender to pay for procedures, and once the police were notified, they came down to his practice and closed him down quicker than you could say, "Is my cock big enough for you?"
A terminally ill carrot was disposed of after it rotted to the point it was unedible. A rep for the terminally ill carrot could confirm it was cremated in the oven at a temperature of 6,000 Celsius to make sure it was completely incinerated and that no one could clone it to ruin crops of very orange and profitable carrots. No one fucks with the carrot trade. No one, not even you, mommy.
I wouldn't fuck with it, I really wouldn't.
Terrified locals were chased out of their homes after it was reported that someone built a gigantic volcano and started to make it erupt. Unfortunately, the locals weren't aware of this knowledge and they thought that the volcano had magically descended upon them during the night cause of God's willy, and it started to erupt cause the town legalized the sales of odd-shaped watermelons. Unfortunately, they were wrong and it was some teenager fucking with their minds, and when the volcano erupted it spewed out red-hot strawberry-flavored marshmallow lava, and one of the locals, who was a homeless hungry man, started to eat it, and he told everyone and they didn't believe him and they killed him, and they told themselves it's what God would have wanted.
An alien was caught trying to decide whether it should eat its sandwich now or save it for lunchtime, but because he was selfish and hungry he ate it then and there and punched a commuter on the street because the commuter wouldn't give the alien money for a new computer.
A telephone was yanked out of the ground in the early hours of this morning after it was reported that someone who was buried under was trying to contact the life above, and when it was discovered there was a phone ringing underground, they took their time to find it and murdered the drunk dialing corpse and made sure that he would never speak again.
I told you they'd find you if you weren't careful, you silly shit.
If you don't shut up and report the news, the producers will have you raped.
And I'll make sure that they never wonk again.
The third degree horror descended upon the local freaks as it was reported that they couldn't shop online anymore because a shiny new razzmatazz was honing in on their economy and was gonna get them in the eye like cum, but until that happened they'd all just sit around and braid each other's public hair.
A child was sent to China this morning after its family in Mommyville could no longer support it, and the only way that they could keep the child in their family was if it went off to make a life for itself and make money for the family. A rep for the family released a statement saying, "We have had a long hard think about this over a nice bottle of vodka, and it has come to our attention that the only way we can give our child any kind of healthy normality is if the child goes and works in China and brings home money to us and support us. Some of you may call it abuse, but all we have to say to that is fuck you piece of shits."
A jealous man was caught in a rage after it was reported that his sex friend was caught mugging the local brothel, and it all kicked off cause the jealous man swung round to the brothel and burned it down to make sure that his sex friend would never go there again, but unfortunately for him, his sex friend killed him and spat pasta at him and screamed and punched his useless ass.
A trickle of blood was caught gushing down my leg this morning after I was attacked by a snake in my bed in the early hours of this morning. I couldn't care less what you freaks all think, but I know for a fact that my pussy doesn't stink.
But mommy, from where I am standing you smell like a fish market.
That's because I was at 1:20 minutes ago to get our dinner for tonight.
I don't like fish, you silly bitch.
I know you don't, but I do, and I wanna see you get sick while you eat your shitty dinner.
Mommy, no, not again. You're not gonna shit in my dinner again, are you?
I wasn't gonna, but now that you mention it I think I just might.